Unless you've been hiding under a rock or in a bin, you'll have heard of ChatGPT. You might even have used it to draft an email, a letter or some other small task. But did you know the vast majority of people who have used ChatGPT have no idea how to use it to its maximum potential and no idea about its true capabilities? So in this tutorial I'm going to give you some essential tips that you absolutely need to know to get the best from ChatGPT. Whether you're a complete beginner or a more advanced user, you should find something new to learn and gain from this video. I've been using ChatGPT now for over 18 months, using it to help me with marketing strategies, planning, formal letters, images, logos and brainstorming. ChatGPT has so much potential to help pretty much anyone, whether you're a parent, a student, a business owner, teacher, doctor, you work in sales or marketing, you're a programmer, a cook, technician, engineer or something else. ChatGPT is helping these people with their work and personal life, integrating it into their daily workflows, making their lives more efficient and productive. Once you reach the end of this tutorial, you'll have a new understanding of ChatGPT so that you can start to use it to maximise the benefits it could bring to your daily life. Before we get into the detail of specific use of ChatGPT, it's important to understand the broad ways that ChatGPT can be useful, and this can potentially be split into three areas, that being knowledge, projects and entertainment. In the knowledge section, ChatGPT can help with learning and retention. Imagine quickly brainstorming new ideas, analysing data in seconds, or even creating detailed mind maps. And with GPT Vision, you can upload an image and get instant insights. Moving on to projects, ChatGPT is a game changer for productivity. Need help with some coding? It's got you covered. Planning a complex event or just organising your schedule? Well, ChatGPT makes it effortless. You can even automate some repetitive tasks to save tons of time. Lastly, let's not forget entertainment. ChatGPT can create songs, act as your personal travel agent, help you design custom games, generate trivia questions, solve complex puzzles, and even recommend movies or books tailored to your preferences. Okay, so to start with, if you haven't done this already, to start using ChatGPT, you need to go to this website and create an account. It's an easy process, so enter your email or sign up with Google or Apple, etc. You'll need to verify your email, and when you do that it'll ask for your name, date of birth. And then once we've done that we can log straight into ChatGPT. So I'll just log in here. So okay, once you've logged in you get taken to the main screen of ChatGPT, and you can see at the top here it says ChatGPT 4.0, and that's OpenAI's latest model of the AI at the time of this video. And this will likely keep getting updated as I continue to develop and improve ChatGPT. So before we get into learning about how to do all this cool stuff with ChatGPT, we need to learn some basics about prompts. Now I'll be using this word prompt quite a bit in this tutorial, so to cover this off first, what I mean by prompt is, this is referring to anything that I type into this bar at the bottom of the ChatGPT window. A prompt can be anything such as a question, a statement, or even a command or instruction. In fact, when you do start a new chat, these four boxes up here are also prompts to help you get started. So let's take a further look at these types of prompts, because it's important we understand what type of prompt to use to give us the best results. So when we ask ChatGPT a question or give it a command, it will give us an answer, but we need to understand the different types of knowledge that ChatGPT has and that it's going to give us. When we get answers, we will get either generated knowledge or existing knowledge, or perhaps a combination of both. Generated knowledge is knowledge that's constructed, given to you by ChatGPT. Existing knowledge is going to be any information or content, something that you brought into ChatGPT for it to use when answering your prompts. So let's go ahead and take a look at giving ChatGPT a question as a prompt, and we'll try a couple of examples right here. So we can ask ChatGPT pretty much anything we want, and we can also use natural language. So that means we just type a question, just like we're talking to a person, and ChatGPT will understand us. And then when we get an answer, ChatGPT is going to give us this based on the knowledge it has. And this is important to remember because the accuracy of the information is only going to be as good as the knowledge that ChatGPT holds. Now ChatGPT is periodically updated with more recent knowledge. So as at the time of this video, it has knowledge up to late 2023, so it's around 6 months old. In fact, we can actually ask ChatGPT this very question. So if we type this into here, ChatGPT is going to give us that answer straight away. Okay, so there we go. So we need to bear in mind if we're asking ChatGPT about facts that it might not have the very latest information such as recent news stories, but we'll come on to that further later as well. Now one advantage though of using ChatGPT for searching information is you'll get the answers really quickly instead of needing to scroll a web search that gives pages and pages of results. Now in saying this, don't be surprised if the likes of Google do quickly catch up with this, as they're already incorporating their own AI into their search results, which will pretty much do the same thing. But let's go ahead and give another question a try. So we'll enter a basic prompt. What is the longest bridge in the world? Okay, and there we have our information, 164.8 kilometres, so 102.4 miles. And it also tells us a little bit more information about when it was created and when it was open to the public as well. But what if I wanted a little bit more information about the bridge? Well, I can just ask another question and ChatGPT will continue the same conversation topic. So let's find out how much it cost. And we get an answer there straight away about this, along with a little bit of an expanded answer as well. Okay, so what we've done here is called follow-up prompting. You can see that ChatGPT is composed of chat threads, and these appear down the left-hand side here. So when we start a new conversation, all that conversation is in one thread. You see, ChatGPT uses what's called natural language processing, so that means we can have a flowing conversation, just like as if we're talking to another person, and ChatGPT will understand the flow and context of the conversation, and that means we can just keep going with it. Okay, so now that we know we can have a conversation with ChatGPT to find information, but it's also worth knowing that we can instruct ChatGPT to provide answers in a particular format. So let's keep going with our conversation, but this time I want it to give me a list of the 5 longest bridges in the world, including the year they were opened. Okay, and there we have it populating and gives us a little list. So it's given us exactly what we've asked for, but as a full list as well. But there are even further formatting prompts we can use to get the answers we want in the format that we would like as well. It might be we want the information in a table or with particular headings or highlight certain parts of the answers. All this is possible simply by asking this as part of our prompt. So, for example, we could put something like this. Okay, so we're going to give it that slightly more detailed prompt, a little bit more in depth. And it thinks about it just for a moment. And in fact, interesting there, we've just come up with a little error. It does happen from time to time, so we'll try again and let's regenerate that response. Okay, so here we go, and it's given us our response, and it's given us a table here just as we asked for. Click on this button here just to expand that table slightly, and we can see it's given us the 8 longest bridges in the world along with their length and the open dates as well. And we can also click on the download table here, and that will download the information as a CSV file if we want to use it or manipulate it in another way. So we can see really that ChatGPT can be powerful, and if we want to get the information we want in the format we want, we have to think carefully about what we ask for and be quite specific in relation to how it's formatted. And usually you'll get the information most of the time in the way that you want it. Okay, so we've made a good start now with our first prompt. Now let's take a look at the general interface of ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a fairly simple layout to understand. You can see on the left bar here, this is where our recent conversations are going to be listed down here. And if we want to start a fresh new conversation, we can simply click on this icon here, and then it opens a new window straight away. So an important thing to remember here though is that with these different conversation threads, ChatGPT doesn't hold on to the information between each chat thread. So if you're talking about a particular topic and start asking follow-up questions in a different thread, ChatGPT won't be able to relate that prompt to the other conversation, meaning you might not get a more natural conversation that you would have expected. The advantage of having multiple conversations is you can easily switch between them, making it quite easy to pick up on different topics of conversation at different times. And to help you keep track of these, you can also click on these 3 dots just alongside, and that allows you to rename them. So you can call them something a little bit better and more understandable. We'll call this one Bridges. Now after a while this can also get a little bit full, so you might want to periodically delete any older conversations that you no longer need to go back to. Or if you think you might want them again, then you can also archive them instead. So again, click on the 3 dots and you've got the option to either archive or delete. Okay, so that's the conversations, but there's a couple of other things that I'll just point out to you which might be useful to know. So if we click on our account logo here just on the top right, we can go into the settings of ChatGPT. And there's a couple of options that are quite useful just to know about. So here at the top we've got the theme, so we can choose system or we can go for dark mode or light mode. I just prefer dark mode as my own preference. And we can also choose to manage all the archive chats. We can archive all chats, or being very careful if you do this, you can also delete all the chats from the history. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the other features that ChatGPT has to offer. So even free users of ChatGPT can have access to basic web browsing. And this means you can ask ChatGPT about live data from the web, and it'll actually be able to look up and find that information for you. So let's say we want to find the current exchange rate for British pounds to US dollars. I can just go in, type this in here, and ask for the information. So we give it a moment, there we can see it's now searching. And it's found the information, and it's also quoted the websites where it's got that information from, just in case we want to validate and verify that information. So now we can use what we've learned about conversations and follow-up prompts so far to get more information. Maybe we want to know how the currency has been performing over the past 12 months. So we can go ahead and ask it. Okay, and there we go. After a few moments, ChatGPT has found the information for us. Now we could also ask ChatGPT about a particular news event. So let's ask it about something in particular. What are the top 3 news stories about ChatGPT in the last year? So it's now doing another search for that. Okay, so there we go. It's given us the 3 bits of information that we asked for. Now this does make ChatGPT really great for research and quicker than using traditional search tools because of that quick access to live information. Now, a recent addition to ChatGPT is the ability for it to be able to see an image and interpret what it can see. So let's give this a go by uploading an image here and asking ChatGPT to describe what it sees. So we click on this little icon just here next to the prompt bar. We'll go upload from computer. I'm going to send this image here of a little teapot. And I'm going to ask it, what can you see in this image? Okay, so there we go. So straight away ChatGPT has come back with some information about the image. And again, we can ask a follow-up question about that. So let's ask, what company made this product? And there we go. It's given us a bit more information. So let's find out, what date was this product launched and when did it stop selling? Okay, so there we go, and we've got our detailed answer again, all based off the original image, so really useful. So you can imagine here that this could have lots of uses, especially when you want to identify something that's in an image and get more information from it. Okay, so we've given an image to ChatGPT, but I'm also going to now show you something that's also possible in ChatGPT, and that is to create an image. So when we ask ChatGPT to create an image, giving it all the details of what we want, it will create an image right in our chat conversation window. Let's imagine I want an image of a black and white kitten. I want the kitten to be playing in some long grass and wearing some, I don't know, red sunglasses. Okay, so now it's thinking about it and it's going to begin to generate the image. It does take a few seconds just to come through. Okay, and there we go, got a lovely image of a nice little cute cat with the red sunglasses, pretty much exactly as I've asked for it. So that's great, but let's say we want to alter it slightly. So ChatGPT is going to look at the original image and hopefully give us something on a similar lines, but with the changes that I've requested to. So it's just thinking about it again. Okay, and there we go, the image has come through and it's made the changes pretty much as I'd asked. Now, one thing we can also do in ChatGPT is see what prompt it actually created for itself when it made the image. So we can ask it, what was the prompt you used for this image? Okay, and there we go, we get the full prompt, which gives us that detail. And then if we wanted to make some further changes, we could actually copy this prompt and then just tweak it slightly to fit and then give that back again and keep going with further images, so you can have some good fun with that. But one other possible way you can also do things is actually give it an image and then ask ChatGPT to create an image prompt for that uploaded image. And then you can use that prompt to create further images that were based loosely on the original. So let's give that a try. So I'm going to add another picture here. I'm going to upload from computer and I'm going to add this image here, which is a picture of myself. And I'm going to ask ChatGPT, generate a prompt for this image. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to just copy that prompt. Please create a new image based on this prompt. And we're going to paste that here. And I'm going to make some changes to it. So we're going to add here, the background also features, let's change that to show features a dark blue ocean. And we'll submit that and let's see what it comes back with this time. Okay, so there we go. It doesn't quite look like me, but it's a pretty good image nevertheless. And it's pretty much done as I've asked for within the prompt as well. So you can have some real good fun generating and tweaking and creating images with ChatGPT. So another really useful thing that ChatGPT can do is data analysis. It's easily possible to give it lots of different types of data, and ChatGPT can look at that data in any way that you want. If you own or run a business, it could be used to analyse sales data, for example, or perhaps you're keen on the weather and want to analyse local weather patterns. The really cool thing is that ChatGPT can also create different types of charts or graphs to visualise that data. So let's grab a sample of some data and give this a try to see what's possible. So in this example, I'm going to get a sample of data from this website. Okay, so just going to go in here. I'm going to find some data to use. So let's go for pizza. I'll just have a look down. Let's try this one, pizza sales data set. So we'll click on that, and we can go download here, and we can go download here. Click on download. You do need to have an account, so I'm just going to sign in. So there we go, we're into the file. I can now download this data set here as a CSV. So I'm going to click on download. And that will download that CSV file with the data. So we're going to go now back into ChatGPT. And what I'm going to do here is just select a new chat. Okay, so we're going to click on the icon here, upload from computer. I'll just find that in the downloads, pizza sales. And we're going to upload that data. And I'm not going to ask anything else yet, I'm just going to submit it straight to ChatGPT to let it read that file. And there we go, straight away we can see it's built a table showing that data, and it's actually given us a little bit of information about what that data contains as well. And we can actually see here as well, once it's got to the bottom of this data, it's actually given me a couple of suggested prompts here where I could analyse total sales by date or identify the most popular pizza. So before we do go ahead any further, one thing that's always a good idea with any data is to ask ChatGPT to clean that data up. It just helps check the data is valid and there's no invalid entries before we get started. It can also check for missing rows, wrong data types and consistency of the info. So let's go ahead and just ask ChatGPT to do this. And we'll just put clean the data. Okay, so there we go. It's just doing a few steps now, executing some code internally to create that clean data up. So let's say we want to get some kind of visual analysis of the data, but we're not particularly sure what we want to get from it at the moment. So let's just ask it, can you give me a visual representation of the data? So here we can see in a few seconds it's going to give us some visual information. Here it's given us total sales over time, the top 10 most popular pizzas, sales by pizza category, and revenue by pizza slice. So a few different options. So just wait for those visualizations to come through. So there we go, it's given us some nice graphs already. If we want to use one of these, we can simply download them, or we could just click to copy or save the image as we need to. So a really useful, good start. So we can see here in seconds it's given us some really good visual information. Now I did notice in the data that it also had the date and timestamp for each sale, so perhaps we want to analyse what time of day we get most sales and perhaps what day of the week. So let's ask that as well here. Can you show me the sales based on days of the week and a further visualisation about the timings of the sales to see if there are popular periods when sales increase. So here again we can see it's given us two more charts. It's given us the sales by day of the week, so we can see that it gets busy through the week, Friday being the busiest day, Sunday being the lowest. And we've also got sales by hour of the day. So you can see there's obviously a very big lunchtime rush there, drops off in the afternoon, and then a bit of a tea time rush through the evening as well before it drops off through to the end of the night. So if this was our business, we could use this data to decide the best opening times or when we need more staffing to cope with the volume of sales. So with this data analysis feature, we're really just starting with what's possible. But the good thing is it's possible for both free or paid users, so anyone can make use of this feature within ChatGPT. Okay, so now let's take a look at how we can customize ChatGPT further, because we're actually able to control its personality and how it will generally talk with us. Now this might be useful if we're in a particular profession, so we need more formal responses, or perhaps we want ChatGPT to be a bit more bubbly, humorous and friendly. Okay, so if we just go to our name just here, and we click on Customize ChatGPT, And here it's giving us a question: what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? And here we can enter specific instructions for ChatGPT to be aware of when it's responding to us. This could include some information we want to know, so as a starting context, maybe where we're located, any particular hobbies or interests we have, nothing too personal, just general stuff. And then we can give it some specific instructions on how it should respond to us as well in this second box down here. We can state whether we want formal or casual responses, and whether to give short, concise answers or longer, more in-depth. Or other things too, such as how it should address you, should it have any humour or be more serious. And if we scroll further down below these two boxes are some of the GPT-4 capabilities, and here we can choose whether it does internet browsing, DALL-E for image creation, or code interpreter if it's analysing code. Now generally you'd always want to leave these turned on, so I don't recommend you need to change these at all. Okay, so now we know how we can tailor ChatGPT to suit our needs. Let's take a further look at another feature which is a little bit more advanced. So a GPT is a kind of custom version of ChatGPT that you can create, but you can have several custom GPTs so that you can have a different one for specific types of work. Now you can really go in depth with this, but I'm only going to touch on it briefly for now, but enough that you know what GPTs are and how to create one. So what are GPTs? Well, think of a GPT as a selectable, specialised personal assistant. They're great for specific tasks or knowledge areas, and they can be more customised with more specific information, knowledge, and how you want them to behave. So let's have a look at creating a new custom GPT. First, click on our user icon here, and we're going to go to My GPTs. And here we can select Create a Custom GPT. So ChatGPT here has a built-in wizard that helps guide you through the process. So in this instance, since we're creating our first one, let's use this to guide us through the process. In the future, you might just want to click Configure and go right into the details. Okay, so here ChatGPT is asking us what we'd like to make. Let's think of a specific use case that might be helpful for us. Maybe we want a coach that will help us eat more healthily. So let's start with that. Make a health coach who helps me improve my diet. So here we go, it's asked to give this name, so it's called it Healthy Habits Coach. Does that sound good to us? We'll put yes, we'll go with that for now. Okay, now it's creating a profile picture. And it's asked us if we like the picture or if we want to make any changes, but for now we'll keep the picture. I like this picture. So now it's asking for any specific goals or outcomes we want to achieve. I want to keep a healthy diet and manage my weight. It's now asking us a bit more about the tone of the conversation. So we're going to say casual with some fun. Okay, so you can see on the right it's created some starting prompts as well, but we can also change these if we want, and we do that through the configure menu. So we're going to go over to configure just here, and you can see the name, description and instructions that have already been pre-filled for us through the wizard. And down here, conversation starters, and there's 4 here, so if we want to change one of these, we can easily remove one, take one out, or edit it altogether. Now, just going back onto the instructions here, I'm just going to add one more instruction, and we're just going to add one here. The GPT should confirm my age, sex, and other vitals before providing guidance. Okay, and we scroll down to the bottom, we can see its capabilities. It's already selected web browsing and image generation, which is probably fine. We probably don't need the code interpreter and data analysis, but just in case, we're going to tick that anyway so that everything's included. It's going to update that just here at the top right. And now we can click create. And for this one, I'm just going to select only me and save. And we can now see GPT published, and we can now view GPT. And here we have it, we can see it on the left menu just here, so we can go into it anytime. And here we have our Healthy Habits Coach, along with the 3 initial prompts, and we can get started and have a chat, conversation, but along the lines of what's been programmed into that coach. So again, if we want to go back and maybe update this GPT and add some more refinement to it, we can go back into the menu, My GPTs, and we can find it, and then just go to click on the edit button there, to edit it as much as we need to. Okay, so there we have it. That's a first introduction to ChatGPT. Now there's so much more you can learn about how you can really get the most from ChatGPT, and it continues to be developed as well, with ChatGPT being integrated into lots of apps and now even into our phones. So I hope you have found this video useful. Do let me know in the comments if you use ChatGPT regularly or any other tips and tricks you found. Here's another video from a channel you might like to check out as well. But please do hit like and subscribe. And if you'd like to see more of my videos or tutorials, I'll see you again soon, hopefully, in the next one.